There are so many changes to Tesla coming up in just a matter of months, from a potential new Gigafactory in Canada, new battery technology and price changes, and of course the EV tax credit supposedly giving you $7,500 back on your purchase. But as you consider should you order a Tesla, there are pros and there are cons, and we're going to go over all of that in this video. So I was thinking about which video to do, and I'm going to get right to it. Now, I did not plan or change anything of my car. I simply sat down and started recording. Here are some current things that are happening to my Tesla. I've had my rear wheel drive for about 13 months now. I've driven over 20,000 miles. So this is what I'm dealing with. So currently, and this has been this way for a few weeks now, if not months, I was loading something into the trunk of my Model 3, and for whatever reason, I must have bumped the cover to the top of my trunk. And what happened is the cover actually popped off. Now, when you're spending $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on a vehicle, some would say, well, just plug it back in, just pop it right back in. There's clips. Well, it's not that easy. First of all, this shouldn't happen. Second of all, I've tried every single way to pop it back in with a flashlight, look under the trunk and see what was going on. It simply won't catch. It will not lock itself into place. Very frustrating, but here's another thing. Hey guys, so apparently this one I actually fixed. I actually had to just slam my fist against this thing, and you see it's not coming off right now. So I did fix this one, but I wanted to make sure this was included in the video. This one is not a long-term issue. It was able to snap back in place. So what are we talking about right now? I'm not trying to complain about all these things that are wrong with my car, but we do have to address build quality in Teslas. You've seen other videos. I have seen the Model S Plaid have, after a few weeks, other owners experiencing the cover peel off of the actual yoke steering wheel. But here is another issue that I had. So build quality, here we go again, another cover of my driver's seat this time just kind of popped off, and I can't get it back into the locking position wherever those clips are. I've tried every which way. I've tried to line it up and push it really firmly to lock back in, and it's still kind of off center. It popped off. Again, this is a cover where the electronics are beneath my driver's seat. So we talked at the beginning of the video, we're talking about build quality now. I'm gonna move on to some positives after this point. And at the end of the video, I want to address the latest with the EV tax credit and some changes at the end of the year to get you $7,500. So stick around and subscribe for that, because the next few months are going to be huge. But here is another con that I want you to consider. The paint quality on the white has been an absolute nightmare. I've met some other Tesla owners at superchargers. I don't know, maybe it was my 2021 Model 3. I have heard that they put more layers of paint. Long story short, the front of my Tesla looks like this. This is my biggest complaint of my car currently, and this can happen to any car, not just Teslas that maybe have thinner paint. Again, I don't know if this is a Tesla thing or not, but my Model 3, it looks all chipped up. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so we have rock salt on the road during the winters here. I do normal travel, nothing super far. On the highway is fairly infrequent for me, so not a lot of gravel being kicked up at high speeds. Long story short, this part is pretty frustrating. So those are some of my gripes about build quality, but I was driving down the road and then this happened. So what happens in the unlikely event that you cannot use the actual touchscreen? Well, all your technology to control things like the air to the cameras, everything is basically behind that screen, and mine stopped working. So I couldn't minimize the cameras. I couldn't bring up the Bluetooth settings for some reason. And here's what happened. I was actually at a stoplight leaving work, and I decided, hey, this is a really long red light. I'm gonna go ahead and clean my screen. Well, there's a screen cleaning mode that I really want you to use. I'll show you how to get there, but it's a basic feature of your car. And I decided not to use that feature, and here's what happened. I think what happened is I was cleaning the screen and bumping all these buttons and settings on my screen. I kind of jammed the whole system, I think. I was cleaning it, and I was telling the computer to do too many things at once, and it kind of just froze. So if you're unaware, you can tap the two scroll wheels, and it's gonna take something like 10 seconds, but it will reboot your Tesla, and you can drive it while you have a black screen. Now, this is not Tesla's fault. This has nothing to do with build quality. Again, I think I messed it up when I was trying to clean the screen. Let me know in the comment section below if you've experienced this, if you've heard of this, but long story short, it will reboot in a matter of seconds, and then everything after that was fixed. So check this graphic out. Just recently, this week, days ago, a new report came out that said EV adoption is expected in just a matter of 10 years to hit 50+% of car sales, with as much as 75% in a matter of decades, some estimates are saying. So more and more people are considering Teslas and EVs in general, but listen to this. So I talked about some build quality issues, some things that I want you to consider. I'm just giving you the facts of a Tesla owner, but what are some things after 20,000 miles that are basically the unsung hero, some things that not a lot of people talk about? I don't hear other channels talk about this, so here's what it is. Collision avoidance. The main benefit to me and now with a growing family is safety. And yes, acceleration when you're on a free stretch of road and you're feeling confident, or you need to merge onto the highway safely, the acceleration and the style of the car is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. But what about keeping you safe? I've had multiple instances of cars cutting me off or at the last minute deciding to change lanes. A story I've told on the channel before is I had my kiddo in the back seat and two cars in front of me. I was merging onto the highway. Someone decided at the last second to change their mind and they swerved to the left, slamming on their brakes to try to get around a barrier. The car in front of me barely stopped in time, and before I could even react, the Tesla had put the brake pedal to the floor. Collision avoidance, I do not hear any channels talking about this enough. Now, it's a cool feature, right? There's collision avoidance. It keeps you in the lane at a certain speed, which is all really cool, a part of autopilot. But the security features really could save you not only injury, but other damages to your car as well. I've seen dash cam videos of cars not noticing that traffic has come to a stop, and you can see them in your rear view mirror, and I've seen Teslas accelerate instantly to avoid collisions as well. So the performance and the cameras and the collision avoidance is something I want you to pay attention to. That is really what you're paying for. The acceleration, the performance, comfort, modern design, and that crucial security features. In my experience driving over 20,000 miles, there are pros and there are cons. Well, is it still worth it with everything I mentioned at the beginning of the build quality and the pros like the security features, performance? I love the style of a Tesla, but especially with this EV tax credit and the prices currently, should you still buy one? Well, only you know your budget, but my brother has a Model Y Performance, and like I said, I have a rear-wheel drive Model 3. So here's what it comes down to. I've driven both. If you have a family, if you need extra storage, well, it goes to say, obviously, a Model Y, which is becoming one of the world's most popular vehicles, a small SUV with more size would make sense. But if you really want something that hugs the road, that is really sharp looking, the Model 3, the sedan, is the way to go. I absolutely love it as a daily driver, and I would definitely buy it again and again. But there's also this $7,500. And again, subscribe, because the IRS here in the United States is going to tell us more about which Teslas qualify. Nobody knows that yet. There's only speculation. I've taken guesses that the Model 3 long range will come back online at a lower price. I think it's going to come online at $55,000 or lower to meet the requirements of the EV tax credit. But as far as batteries, the big component that makes up how much you're going to get, nobody knows that until the end of the year when the IRS is going to give us more information. So make sure to subscribe so you know as you're deciding the pros and the cons and the price if you're going to buy one. So I want to know your thoughts in the comments section below. Which Tesla are you considering and why? Do you have a growing family? Do you need more space? Or do you like more performance and something more sleek or compact like a Model 3? Let me know in the comment section below. And of course, the only way I know you like this content is to drop a like and consider subscribing for those end of the year updates. Very important if you are considering buying a Tesla. Again, this is Matt from Frunk to Trunk. We will see you in the next video.